issue that concerns the world, as it were. Today is World Water Day. I want to discuss issues around water, scarcity, pollution, health of water, how easy or difficult for human beings, especially in Nigeria, to access clean water, and issues around water provision. That is what we'll be taking a look at for the next 30 or 40 minutes thereabout. And I have in the studio with me to illustrate this, as it were, a professional and is an academic, somebody that has done enough research and enough collaboration with other international bodies on water provision. I'm talking about Professor Johnson Kayode ADEWUMI. Professor ADEWUMI is of the Department of AGRIC and Bioresources Engineering at the Federal University of Agriculture, FUNAAB in Abeokuta. Professor ADEWUMI, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wigishola is still here, as usual. So together, we'll be taking a look at these issues as concerned water provision.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Professor Johnson ADEWUMI specializes in the broad area of soil and water engineering, that is irrigation, hydrology, soil and water conservation, erosion, drainage, everything that has to do with water. So he is an authority. So let me start with the World Water Day. What is it all about?
Actually, the World Water Day that was established sometimes in 1993 by the UNESCO, United Nations General Assembly, is simply a commitment of our life to environment and to what we do to make sure that water as a body is sufficient and is available to all of us as a human being. That is essentially what United Nations is all about concerning water for us to be able to make sure that no single person on the planet Earth lacks water, particularly a good quality water, safe to drink, and our environment is not littered with all kinds of stools or dirtiness or something. Otherwise, where I am now, if there is a toilet here and it's not well kept, we will not be able to stay here. So actually, that is the agenda of the United Nations concerning water.
Professor ADEWUMI,
yes, sir.
Okay. Since the designation of March 22 as Water Day globally, and I want to believe that every year there is a theme that is selected at least to celebrate this.
Yes.
We've had cereal in the previous years. Can you tell us what impact has those themes in the previous, at least maybe in the last 3 years, has had on the present day Nigeria? Because we want to discuss the theme for this year. What has the theme for previous years impacted on this year?
Honestly, moderator, when every year we celebrate, every 22nd of the year we celebrate World Water Day, there's supposed to be a theme, as you have said. That of last year was water supply and sanitation. And immediately after that, you will discover that we are talking about hygiene of water, both from primary, secondary school to the university, to everybody, even in the local communities, even in the city. We are all talking about safe water and hygiene, because that of last year was water supply and sanitation. That of this year, if I'm not supposed to go before the cart,
no, go ahead,
is for peace. Water for peace, to leverage on water for peace for this year. But according to you, it has gotten a lot of impact every year that we have been able to talk about March 22 and a theme for it. There is always a drum going around the whole country, even outside the country, you know, trying to let people be aware of what that year is all about and what is to be done. Federal government too has been doing a lot once there is a water World Water Day. They have been doing, I think I had the opportunity of meeting with the Water Corporation the other day, more than 4 or 5 years ago. And we talk about what is to be done concerning water. When we are supplying people with water, are we sure that that water is safe? Are we sure that it's going to pass through the right place? Maybe the conduit under the water, under the place is already rusted. And we're supplying a very wrong thing to the house. They have to make sure that all these things are done very well. In fact, right now, the water that they are supplying now is safe to drink directly. The water that Ogun Water Corporation is supplying is safe directly to be taken directly, which is a very commendable effort for the Ogun State government.
Okay, you said the theme, Water for Peace.
For this year.
For this year. Let's talk about that. How can water be for peace? What does that mean?
Well, they look at water flowing. When the water is flowing, a river is flowing. It's flowing across the road and across, to overcome any obstacles along the way. Flowing throughout without any disturbance. So we are thinking that if that kind of flow, we inculcate the habit of that water flowing in our system, flowing with the environment, and we see each other in terms of the way we interact. We believe that the idea of peace, sometimes they sing, they say, I have joy like a river, I have peace like a river. Because they have that kind of sing when we were in secondary school in those days. So it's a very good thing for us to leverage our peace on water, because water has no enemy. Whatever we do, we need water. Either to bath, either to eat, even to our crop. If there is no water, we know there is a problem in that particular city, in that country. That's why we practice irrigation in the north, in the arid region, where there is no enough rainfall. But here, we are enjoying whatever. The best we can do here is to do supplementary irrigation where there is no rainfall. So water for peace is good, one, within the country, and even transboundary across to the other country. It's good within the community. There's water, people can fight over water, maybe a river flowing, and they want to dam it, and you yourself will need to also use water. So there is a lot of things that water can do for us. That's why we need it. We call it Water for Peace for this year.
Okay.
The global community is presently facing the challenge of the environmental crisis. We talk about global warming, we talk about ozone layer depletion and all not. What exactly is the impact of this global warming on the water, the availability of water for you?
Yeah. Where I was working before I came to FUNAAB Abeokuta is in the north, ABU's area. What we are used to there is rain will start stabilizing at about May, June. And before September, October is gone until another year. So I came here and I discovered that the rainfall pattern here is almost about the same with where I was coming from. So I noticed this was more than 10, 15 years ago. So I started thinking that there's been a disrupt in the pattern of rainfall that we are used to. Farmer is used to rain will start falling at about February, March, and they want to go to farm to plant yam, to plant maize. But it's not like that now. It's not like that anymore. If you ask the farmer to go to the field because of the rain, scattered rain we are falling, that crop will die. Because there could be a break of about 3 weeks. There could be a break of about a month before another one. So we are now discovered that rain here got established around May to June. And it will go on till October, November before stopping. So it has changed from the normal way by which it used to come maybe earlier than that. That is why we say there is an effect on the fall of this rain, which we call climate change. The climate change is simply, it has changed the pattern we are used to in terms of rainfall. it has used to. It may come very destructive. It may also come lasting long without stopping. And what exactly do we do to be able to cope up with the effect of that change in our life? We ask the farmer, wait, relax, don't plant. If you have water and you have irrigation, okay, you can go ahead and plant. When rain comes, you stop. When it stops, you can start irrigating again. Those are the things we are trying to do. And sometimes it's not falling in most places adequate enough for what we need to do. Sometimes it's overflooding. It's flooding that is in excess of what we need. Every year you hear people, houses destroyed as a result of serious rainstorm that is coming. And after a very long time, we have not seen it. Look at this year. The rain stopped effectively last year at about early November. And at the end of the day, it's not going to come for us to have the effect, but look at the heat. The heat that has to accompany the stoppage of that rain is a very, very serious for people that may not be able to have that kind of ventilation in the house. You sleep. Right now, at about March and April in the north, they'll be talking of meningitis. And this is the effect of the rain. I mean, effect of the heat. It has been there, but gradually it's changing, the time is changing. That is how I'll be able to explain how climate change has impacted on us. It's making us to be aware that, well, the rain will come, but it might come late. And when it comes in very serious effect, impact on our life.
So how can individuals conserve water?
You can conserve water in various ways. If you have a house, you can decide to have underground reservoir in your house, so that when rain comes, this water will go there. Or you have a borehole, you sink it and you pump water to the overhead. But you can't use this water directly like that. You have to treat it the way water board used to treat water. That is why it is necessary for us, when we know that we don't have enough capacity to have water throughout the year, you get a tank. In fact, when I came here, there was no water around my place. I used to buy water from individual private people using tanker to drop water. But when I got my house and I sunk a borehole, and I've been having water before this water board now decided to connect my house. To conserve water in the house is simple. During the rain, you make sure that you put all kinds of things outside to be able to pick this water, and then if not, the trouble of looking for water when you have to go very far away is a problem. It's a problem. So water is easy to contain when there is rainfall, when there is enough rainfall, or where there is a dam and then water corporation is giving you. They may not be giving you every day. So you have to have a container where to put this water, either underground or overhead, to be able to use.
What about the treatment process?
The
treatment process?
Yes. Individually, there are things they normally buy in the market that you can put inside the water to be able to make the sediment to settle down and then be able to use it. But apart from that, there is also a water filter. If you have means of water coming into your house, you can put this water filter there to do, because when you are talking about water treatment, it's only a big organization that can have equipment to treat water. For example, Water Corporation, Ogun Water Corporation. They pass this water into a series of stages, to remove the anions or metal that might be there, so that we don't drink this water and have a problem. The other treatment aspect of it is in the house. What we need to do is to pass it through a filter. going into the tank and coming to the house, then you'll be able to eat. That is privately. But for organization, like there is a place in a camp. There's a place in camp. It's between the water government and other local government. They sunk an industrial borehole and they install a water treatment. So we go there to buy water.
Brother June, let's look at the impact of a population explosion. Okay. I recall that 4-5 decades backward, population then was manageable. In fact, when you, from your house, you can go to the tap, take water and drink. It is no more like that these days for many communities, because the inadequacy of governments to provide potable water for everybody like it used to be in the past. Now people buy water, now individuals sink a borehole or well, deep well. Yet, it is not adequate. It is not enough for the people, at least to take. Water is just not adequate for the population we have these days. What is the way forward?
Presently, about 2.2 billion human beings in the whole wide world are not having a safe, free access to water. About 2.2 billion. So there has been a campaign, even from the United Nations, down to every country, down to every government, for us to be able to find a way of how water can reach this individual. For example, you said our population is increasing. Yes, as we are producing children, we pray for them to get married, and we also pray for them to have children. And at the end of the day, if the government is not making sure in terms of their budget and making provision for the expected population, I do not know the last time we had our Nigerian population census that we have over 200 million. Maybe they want to do another one last year or this year for us to know where we have gone in terms of increase. But what I think we can do, as you have said, is, well, we tell every local government to make sure that there is enough water for its population. We can start from even every villages, every ward, to sink a well. If there is no river that is passing, if there is river that is passing, government can come and help us to dam this water so that there will be adequate water enough for that city. I do not want to take it as a country. I want to take it from village to village, city to cities, and then before we can say that we have solved the problem of water. That is from the world, from local government, the states, before the federal government. And the budget should be increased for the provision of water in terms of local government participation. We have 774 local governments in this country, and every one of them is supposed to make sure that in my area, there should be enough water. For example, our representative in the federal government, House of Rep and Senate, they say they normally have constituency projects. Some of these constituency projects can be tailored toward provision of water for our people, so that they'll be able to have enough water, so that we don't cry. Because you see small children waking up in the morning, supposed to take bath before going to school, there is no water. I heard a preacher in somewhere in Africa, they don't have water, and they live on the hill. Sometimes they don't bath. Those are part of the 2.2 billion people we say they don't have access to safe water. Some of them have access, but it's a muddy water. When you and I take such type of water, it's a problem for us. There's no means of treating it. Even as we speak, there are some villages, plenty in this Nigeria, they don't have potable water. They go to the streams. During the dry season, even that stream get dried up. And then they start looking for how to go very deep, to dig water, to dig well, to do this. What do we do? Nothing done for government to have enough water to take care of the people.
So far, you know, you said governments, the legislators and others should do engage in projects that can ensure the populace have water.
Yes.
So based on your years of experience, how would you say government so far has been able to tackle water management, and what are the technologies so far that are in place?
Even in the university where I am, we have the last time we take the study in Federal University of AGRIC, Abeokuta, we have close to 60, 70 boreholes. More than 60 of them, more than 50% or 60% of them are not yielding water. So in a community like a Federal University of Agriculture, we're struggling to have water. Now they have built a dam recently, 2-3 years ago. The dam is there. We process that the water should pass through the treatment plant that has also been installed, so that adequate water can go around the hostels and the students will be safe. But from my experience, you see, water in our life is very important. There's nothing we do without water. Even to the food we eat. We normally want water to be at a very standardized moisture content for crop to grow. If there is no water there, the effect of climate change is also having effect on the crop. And if we don't, the heat, the stress on the crop will not be able to have enough food or crop to harvest to be able to have stability. So concerning for the environment in our life, we need a good relationship between the people and the environment in terms of the provision of this water, not to litter and to be able to take care of our environment very well. Is what we are all talking about. For example, we have a system in which we are there, the environment is there, but the water provision is not enough for these people. So we need people government particularly, to provide enough resources, adequate equipment to be able to make water available to every citizens.
Professor ADEWUMI, let's look at some of the impediments so far. We know that provision of clean or access to clean water is part of the MDGs, Millennium Development Goals.
Yeah.
And not only water, Nigeria has failed to achieve many of these MDGs over the year. We were talking about provision of health, provision of water, provision of housing for the year 2000. Later it became 2010, and this is 2024. We're still talking about provision of certain basic facilities such as water. And now the projection is by the year 2030, which is 6 or 7 years away now, we will achieve some or many of these MDGs, including access to water. Do you believe you can still get there?
I believe that we can get to that millennium goals in the year 2030, of which the provision of water will be available to all citizens. I believe if, for example, what we are talking about of government seriousness, from federal government to state government to local government, even to the world in each villages, if we gear up and they take into consideration enough budget for water provision, and they did not spend it on another thing. They did not put water as a politics. It is essential and it is very important for every human being. It can be done. We can achieve these MDGs proportion by the year 2030.
You mentioned budget. Is it about budgeting that we have not been able to achieve it? Is it about budgeting? Sometimes because
we don't talk and we don't protest. Why? Because you can have a borehole in your house, you can have a well in your house, so we are not talking. makes the government not to put adequate money for the budget, because we have never gone and protest about water. What we are doing now is the public awareness through the media for people to know that water is very important. But if I go into my house now and there is no water, I'm not going to raise any doubts. I will just pump from my well and then use it. If, like the way it is in abroad, where I have been to, in your house there is water. At the end of the day, they will bring bill, even for the telephone. So there is no problem of, government are supposed to rise up to their responsibility of making sure that every household, by way of connection, the way they have done recently, last year to this year, by laying of pipe and making sure they are there, they say it's from the World Bank. I like it very much. But if they can do it to every villages in the country, it will be better. But that requires that federal government allocate certain amount of money for this project. It's about budget. It's about budget. If government say they have 100 million, or let me say 100 naira for provision of water, and the money is not released until another year is about to come, what do we do? What do we do? They will not be able to carry out the project. No, so it has to clinch or clip on the, what do you call it, on the budget that the government has to do. But if they don't release the money, how will the project be done? No.
I believe that is just one of the challenges. Are there more?
The other challenges is individual having the capital to be able to make provision for water. Some people may not have enough capacity to be able to sink well or borehole, apart from government not providing enough money for government to supply us with water. You understand me? You can see some people in a particular community, they have enough water, they put about 2 or 3 pipes outside for people passing to come and take water.
Also about pollution, I'm talking about the firms now, industries.
Well, it's good to have a private partnership with government for the industry, for the organization to involve in provision of water to our citizens. But I've not seen that being done very well in the area of water. Where you see them, where you see the contractor being given is when they say there is a dam. And you know, when you are constructing a dam, they will say it's for water supply, it's for irrigations, it's for generating electricity. All kinds of things they will put there. Very gigantic. But at the end of the day, this water, when released, may not be enough for that intending population, for that community.
No, Prof, I'm actually talking about water pollution. Well, you know, most of the firms, industries, the people in the communities do accuse them of polluting the rivers and other things in the areas. So what steps can be taken apart from just sealing such industries or telling them to stop? You know, I believe there should be other measures that government should take.
Pollution is very, very important. It occurs every day, every year, particularly when there is a rainfall. And the degrading aspect of our soil is going down every year without replacement. So, in terms of that, the rivers that goes through, that our villagers, our people depend on, we have to find a way that the amount of sediment that is being rushed into it from the upland, from the upstream into the water, before it goes to where it is taken, should be considered very paramount as a very important problem. One, as you have said, the company can come into it and look at the sources of water and see how they can mitigate it in terms of what this water corporation used to do. Before they send us the water, pass it through through something. They can also ask those organizations in the industry to be able to have a way that they can do to come into actions concerning the water that we think. Because the pollution is very, very important. It's very dangerous, but very important, because if we just see water, we drink it, it will cause a problem. That's what we were talking last year as water supply and sanitation. But this year is for peace. But concerning these erosions that will go whenever there is water into the streams and polluted it, we can't take it. You can't take that water raw as it is. It has to pass through sediment. But another way that the government can do is to be able to identify companies in this area, to engage them, to help us to realize that the water pollution that we have, they should be able to help us to come into it to safeguard problem of diseases as a result of water to our children and to our people.
Professor, let's talk about your area of specialization. That's irrigation.
That's right.
You just alluded to the fact that the climate has changed and is affecting even production of agricultural produce. Up north, there are a lot of irrigation schemes that feed the farmers or the farmlands, as it were, and one wonders why we have not keyed into irrigation scheme down south here. Maybe because we thought there will be enough rainfall, at least for us, but you just said that the southern community here will achieve maximum rain maybe between May and November. So why is it difficult? Why is it not possible? Or why is it, up till now, we have not keyed into irrigation scheme down south here?
Yes, in the south here, we are enjoying something which we take for granted what God has done for this place. We can even say that in some places in the south here, because as early as January, I learned that there is rain in Lagos, in Calabar, in those areas in Uyo. In the south, rainfall amount is higher than in the north. The topography for us in the south is not like that one in the north. In the north, when you stand, you can see 2 to 3 kilometers of land, very flat. But in the south, the vegetation is there. Even at the tick of the dry season here, you still see some vegetation that are green. Irrigation can be done in the south here, but it can be like a supplementary irrigation. Even though we don't have like a short durations of drought like in the north, where we have very large and long duration. But here in the south, we almost have rain throughout the year, but that rain is not enough for crop production. It's just a scattered rain. Right now, it's raining. We cannot advise the farmer to go into plants, but irrigation is very costly. We need a very flat land. We need to employ very high technologies of instrument of irrigation methods into play, like a drip irrigation, like sprinkler. In the north, surface irrigation is most important because there are so many dams that were built in the north, particularly in Kano. So many dams you see, and people are just farming and producing grains. Here, I went into Omosun, I look at it, I went into their area of Omosun River Basin. There's a very little area for irrigation. Then they called the place Okeodan somewhere. Yes, through the use of very high powered irrigation, pivot irrigation schedule they are doing there. They have few irrigation, but it's not, when you look at it, the number of hectares covered in the north in terms of irrigation is far more than 30 or 50 times what we have in the south. We so far rely on rainfall fed crop here. Only few people, which are negligible, are practicing irrigation. And that irrigation is just for a few areas.
Okay, Prof, let's round off with your message to the people as we celebrate 2024 World Water Day.
The World Water Day, which is today, that is marked throughout the world is leveraging on water for peace. In other words, we can use water to solve problems between community to community, between one state government to another state government, between a country and another country. Water for peace means that we should be able to take care of our neighbors. That is the message of the water for peace. We should be able to use it to take care of our neighbors, to take care of our town, to take care of other communities, and then be able to have enough peace to sit down and say, we thank God that this year has gone. For example, if there is a country, they have water that is running across to us, and they dam it, will not be able to have water in our own place. So they should be able to talk and sit down, okay, if you dam this water, you'll be releasing to us. That, just like River Niger. Suppose the Niger Republic decide to dam itself before getting to us, we have less water with us. So water gives us the opportunity to be able to settle disputes that are supposed to be there. It gives us the opportunity to be able to make friends, amends, and then the way water flows, water has no enemy. So we should use it in that context, that we should also love ourselves.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Well, for about 40 minutes, Professor Johnson Kayode ADEWUMI has been in the studio explaining to us the celebration of World Water Day today. The essence is for us to use water to assure peace in the world. I will take a leave of you and allow you to go.
Madam,
Well,
I'm very sorry. Thank you so much.
The next discussion will come very shortly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good night.